Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Excuse me. So, when I first did the Red Lobster thing, I only thought I was dealing with the Mandela effect of the missing articles that I read. Um, Hopefully, some of you saw that. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, these articles had said that these companies were saying they were hiring and collecting all these applications and taking all these interviews and collecting all this data and selling it. And some sources said they were making a bigger profit doing that than they were off their food at that time. That was 5 years ago. I can't find those articles now. So today, my fiance had two job interviews, and one of them was from Subway, and she interviewed with two managers previous to this, who each asked her a different set of questions and said they were hiring for five Subways, interviewing for five Subways at once in the area, and she didn't get that job, and neither did her other friend, who also got called and interviewed, and she didn't have any experience, but they basically gave her the same line that they gave her, and then they went a different direction. They didn't hire anybody. Well, they didn't. Who could prove? But they clearly didn't hire anybody. Now she got called again to another Subway interview. She went to do it, and this time, after two bogus interviews, and looking. And by the way, guys, don't go apply to these places. Subway, Applebee's, Red Lobster, Olive Garden. Just go look. Go to Indeed. Go to Snag a Job. Go to ZipRecruiter. Go to Monster.com. Go to all those places and type Red Lobster, Applebee's, all these different Subway, Burger King, all these different companies, and then just type various bigger cities around the country and look. Are they really looking for that much help? Are they really hiring for every position that they have in every store that they have in every city that there is across the country? Of course they're not. Of course they're not. They're mining data. And so my fiance went to this interview, two of them. The first one was Subway, and decided to record this interview this time. Now, we tried to play it here, but it sounded like a mouse in a bad predicament, so I can't play it, excuse me, at this time. But I listened to it extensively, and it got pretty weird. They asked her, since she wasn't working, what she was doing, and she said that she helped run a YouTube channel and had a couple kids, and which was weird because a couple hours after she got home, she started getting text messages from these other companies saying, "Oh, we tired of surfing the internet and getting no results. Here, come over and dup the dup." And she got several texts like that. And the only way, she told Subway that she did YouTube, right? And then 2 hours later, she's getting these texts about surfing the internet and finding work, right? It wasn't a job interview. So it gets to another point in the interview, and I mean, there was just a few questions, guys. I mean, they were general questions. They weren't. They could have been interpreted as questions that were being used to work for Subway, but they were kind of vague as far as that went. She kind of contradicted herself a couple of times in there, and then and they apparently, and my fiance, she's not feeling the best right now either, so I'm doing the video, but she said they were both nervous about possibly being recorded. Why would you be nervous at all? I mean, you're on camera all day at these places, so suddenly you're nervous because you're up to something. So she gets to a point in the interview and she says, "They want me to ask you these questions. They they want me to ask you these questions," she says. And the first question was, "What types of businesses are you looking for?" That's a survey question. That's not a job interview question. And the rest of these questions, what were general customer service questions, like a survey. And then they, of course, at the end of the interview, told her they had one more interview. And they'd call her tomorrow before noon. Now, we're not holding our breath on that call, but she will be following it up, and she'll probably record that. So then that was a messed up deal. Then she went to Walmart for her second interview, and they made her wait for 20 minutes, and then took her into her room, and she hit record on her phone, and they sat her down and had her look over some paperwork, and then told her, "Well, this is a one-question interview. What have you done to go above and beyond for a company you worked for?" That was the one thing they brought her in there for. She answered it, and then they gave her a bunch of generic crap, gave her some paperwork, had her give them her social security number, and then instead of doing a background check, told her that they would send her a link for a background check, and then if she passed that, she'd be coming to orientation. Well, of course, they didn't send a link for any background check, but they sent plenty of other text messages from other companies that they sold the little bit of information that she got from, because her phone's been blowing up literally all day long, guys. All right. So eh, when did this happen? I mean, we're going to try to play these interviews, and she's going to record the phone interview when she calls them back to follow up on these fake jobs. But they're fake. All right. They're not real. And I've come to that conclusion. But when did they become fake? When did they become not real? I, I don't know. Did it just happen so that it just started? That's why I don't remember it, because, oh, well, it just started happening. Or have they always done it and I just missed it? Is it a Mandela effect? That's what I wonder. Have job interviews always been mostly fake and just for collecting data? I mean, obviously they're going to fill a position now and then, but all these positions, go look, guys, go look. You know they're not trying to fill that many positions. Why are they advertising? Why are they paying for advertising on all those websites in all those cities? Like every city, like you type, and they're buying these ads. Why? Because it's profiting them. They're not hiring that many people. They're selling that many people's data and hiring maybe one person every so often, maybe. If that, I don't know. So I'll leave it at that, guys. What do you think? When did these jobs become fake? Like, are they fake planes, fake jobs, fake job interviews? What, fake sun? What we got going on up there with that sun thing? I don't know. What, fake moon because it goes behind the clouds now? Fake moon landing, fake 9/11. Are they just trying to get us to accept all things fake? Have they been warming us up for these fake job interviews? Are they trying to use that information to train AIs? That's what my fiance thinks. They're partly, obviously, they're selling it because she's getting the text messages that prove they're selling the information. And she goes to a job interview, and instead of getting the job, she gets blown up with all these text messages about all these things in a job that she told these companies she wanted when she interviewed. So they sold that information. But anyway, that's it, guys. You can thumb me up if you remember that this hasn't always been the way it was. It must have started recently or have been a Mandela effect. And you can thumb me right down if you remember that these things have always been fake. These jobs have always been fake. They've always blanket took applications and not hired people and sold data. Not from what I know, not from what I remember, but I could be wrong. And so could she. She doesn't remember it either. But anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and thanks for sticking with us. I got a pretty complicated video coming out later this week, tying a bunch of things together that I think is pretty important. And I'm going to leave it at that. And thanks for watching, guys, and have a great rest of your night.